Our queen bee here, our old school LGM, produces about 25,000 heads of lettuce a year, while the city mission greenery produces around 45,000 heads. And total last year, we have actually distributed into the community with all of our 4 farms 10,000 pounds of produce.
My name is Michael Castellana. I am CEO of Broadview.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lanny with Broadview Federal Credit Union.
I'm Megan Noss, and I am the Farm Operations Lead here at Broadview Federal Credit Union, and we grow food here.
My name is Michael Castellana. I am the CEO of Broadview. I have been here for 36 years. I'm here because we change lives, and this program is one of those programs that really helps us to do that.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lanny. I'm the Chief Community Officer at Broadview Federal Credit Union, and I oversee our agricultural program here at Broadview. Our CEO, Michael, and I were sitting at the World Business Forum, and we were listening to a gentleman who had used hydroponic farming to really change a community. So I'm sitting on one end of the arena, and Michael's on the other, and I'm texting him, we need to do this.
We almost simultaneously looked at each other and said, hey, there's an opportunity here.
And I think really why we needed to do this is that we have been supporting organizations in our community who address food insecurity. And so we're really good at serving this problem, really good at it. But what we need to do is shift to try to solve. And we saw this as a way to kind of put a stake in the ground to say that we need to really shift some of our energies to try to create a sustainable solution to address the need.
Is this viable? And clearly it's viable. Hydroponic farming can be done, is being done, and it's being done commercially. So what we thought about is, okay, if this is being done commercially, can we do it socially? And we thought we really could. Again, we went on site to say, okay, show us this thing, let me touch it, let me feel it. We were immediately impressed, not just with the technology, but with the people behind the technology, with the passion for the process. We were hooked early on and said, okay, how much to get started? Let's try one of these. Let's get the first one at our headquarters so that we can test it and make sure that this is what we think it is, and it was that and more.
So our queen bee here started it's an LGM that we got in 2018, actually on my birthday. And we had originally started this model just to prove that we could be successful growers. So my background is generally in culinary arts, but I also have an extensive knowledge of plants and gardening. So I applied, and we have started to grow, and we proved the concept that we were able to grow successfully. We were distributing the produce into our cafeteria here, and we were basically feeding our own staff. So in March of 2020, when the pandemic hit, we were really faced with a decision, and we really realized that this was an essential for our community, and especially for our community partners. And we went to a 100% donation model at that time and began distributing our lettuce to our food pantries and within our community. And from then on, we have just stuck with that model, and we now donate to several nonprofits.
So we proved the concept, right? You always do that to make sure before you put them out in the community that you know it's going to work. And so then we started to look around at other organizations who had different needs when it comes to food. So the Boys and Girls Club was our first farm. They came to us to support their food service program, feeding kids after school. And we said, you know, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna give you a farm, and we're gonna empower you to do that yourself, to create an opportunity to grow your own food and ideally sell some of that to create this sustainable model. So that was our first farm.
Hi everyone, my name is Justin Reuter, and I'm CEO for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Capital area. Well, about a mile away from this location, we have a commercial kitchen in Troy on Congress Street. So every day, We make about 1,100 dinners. Those dinners are provided to all of our Boys and Girls Club locations, and we also provide meals for 7 other nonprofits in the capital area. So collectively in a year, we're serving 250,000 meals to the community, mainly kids, but sometimes we do special events where we're providing meals to the whole family. Food service is a big part of what we do at the Boys and Girls Club. And I was in a conversation with Broadview Federal Credit Union about our food program, and the freight farm came up, and we just felt like it was kind of a natural progression for us. We're in the food service industry. How can we start growing our own produce that's healthy right in our backyard? So we looked at the concept, we studied freight farms, learned more about it, kind of looked internally to see if we had the capacity or the right staff member here to learn how to run the farm properly. And some trial and error, we decided let's move forward with this, and we've had the farm, I think, for about 4 years at this point, and it's going great.
The Boys and Girls Club was an obvious choice because, again, not only did they need the money that can be generated from this, but they had the kids who could learn from this.
In the freight farm, some of the different things that we're doing, kids are learning about the life cycle of a plant. They're learning about the business production aspect of it. We're starting in the beginning, we're planting a seed, and then we're harvesting. What happens next? Where is all this stuff going? Do people pay for it? How much do they pay? Right? They're learning about all the components behind the whole business of operating an urban farm in the city. I think the one thing that's very cool about the farm is it just looks cool. You drive by the Boys and Girls Club and you're like, what is that, right? So we've gotten a lot of traction for bringing donors and stakeholders into the farm, and once you're in there, you're kind of blown away about what is in this little shipping container in the back of the building. You go in there and you're like, oh my God, this can produce X. It's not typical for a Boys and Girls Club to have something like that. So I would say the community has more of an understanding of urban farming, especially hydroponic farming. The amount of people we've brought inside there that never knew that technology existed and you could do it right in the city is great.
Our second farm actually was at the City Mission in Schenectady, and their need was a little bit different. The angle they chose was a little bit different.
My name is Michael Sicoscio. I'm the Executive Director, City Mission of Schenectady. First and foremost, we operate shelters for homeless men, women, and children. We provide shelter to about 100 men, women, and children every night. We serve about 600 meals a day and do other things associated with shelter.
They looked at the health outcomes and life expectancy in their zip code and realized that it was much lower than zip code over and even further away.
We took that hard, as we should have, and we also had to own our portion of that. Were we doing enough to help people discover wellness? But a big part of that is eating properly. It's diet, it's nutrition. So we were inspired to do a better job. We were convicted by the facts and wanted to make a difference here at City Mission. The benefits to the community are extensive. First of all, there's the City Mission community. The men, women, and children who live here, who come here for meals, are eating healthier meals. But because the freight farm is amazing, it can grow an abundance of crops, actually more than we need at City Mission, which is hard to believe out of this rather small container. So we share it with other providers in the community. We're helping other shelters get access to fresh, hyper-grown lettuce and other vegetables that we're growing in the freight farm. So not only has it been a blessing to the mission, it's been a blessing to the greater community. So I really can't even give a number on how many people are benefiting from it, but I know it's exponentially greater than we were able to do before.
Our third community farm is at the Regional Food Bank, and that really gave them, or gives them, an opportunity to grow culturally diverse greens, which are hard to get.
Hi, I'm Nick Pisani. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at the Regional Food Bank of Northeastern New York. The work of the Regional Food Bank is multifaceted. Our ultimate mission is to alleviate hunger and reduce food waste. In our communities, 23 counties are a large territory. There's a lot of different needs. As a food banking operation, the cultural relevance is a really big piece, as well as fresh produce. We're at the mercy to some extent of our donors, of what we're able to get and when we're able to get it. There's little things that we do control. So we do have a farm, a traditional farm of our own. We have control there, but we're in the Northeast, so control is minimal at times when it comes to drought seasons or winter months. So the freight farm gave us the opportunity to fit the cultural need of produce and be able to provide the freshest and the best quality produce to our neighbors in need. The freight farms really had already an immediate direct impact on our neighbors in need, right? So we've been able to produce a few varieties of leafy greens in our freight farm. Current day, we're growing collards and mustard greens. Those are harvested and they're actually distributed within 24 hours of being harvested. The feedback that we've heard from our agencies through our programmatic team has been absolutely phenomenal. We make them available literally day of harvest or day after harvest right here at our facility in Latham, and our agencies have the ability to bring those home that day, fresh as can be.
At the end of the day, not only are we trying to grow lettuce, grow different greens, we're trying to raise awareness about food insecurity. And that is one of the most important things that we do, as people understand, wait a minute, Broadview's doing what? Let me see this thing, let me touch this thing. Just by doing that, by bringing cameras to what we're doing, it's raising the awareness that people are hungry and we need to do something about it.
What I enjoy most about container farming is the impact that I'm allowed to see on our nonprofit partners.
My name is Peter Crasto-Donnelly. I'm the Program Director at the Food Pantries for the Capital District. This is a quote from one of our member food pantries who receives Broadview lettuce every week and is just so appreciative of receiving it. At Living Hope United Methodist Church Food Pantry in Waterford, New York, we love the Broadview lettuce. It's always fresh and flavorful. Packaged in individual servings, our guests can take as little or as much as they need for their family size, from one-person families to 5 or 6 person or more. And our guests love having greens for salads and garnish. Many of our guests cannot afford to buy fresh foods at the grocery store, and the lettuce is a welcome addition to their table. Broadview lettuce is a staple at our pantry and has had a tremendous impact in improving the nutrition of our guests. Thank you to Broadview for this generous gift.
I believe that they see that we're giving them the very best product. And I think there's a lot of value in that. And they are allowed to see value in themselves because they see the value of, like, they're worth it. Like, we are all worth it. We are all worth good food.